right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
A fitting tribute. One of 2 MoDOT workers killed on duty, honored with a permanent reminder for drivers.
I want everybody to remember James, that he didn't die in vain, that we still love and cherish him.
Workers on strike. Why Senator Josh Hawley is showing his support as area mechanics demand change.
A windy day throughout our area, and until we had the sunshine, it still made it feel cooler than average. Why the winds will settle down tomorrow and when they'll switch from a much warmer direction ahead.
It has to be changed so that there's not another Janae Edmondson having to deal with this her whole life.
The family of Janae Edmondson criticizing St. Louis after the crash that changed their lives. Tonight, how city leaders want to make streets safer following Daniel Riley's guilty conviction. We want to thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Brent Solomon. Tonight, local leaders are demanding change following that high-profile case. This week, a jury found Daniel Riley guilty in the crash that caused Janae Edmondson to lose her legs in downtown St. Louis last year. 5 on Your Side's Annie Krall joins us in studio with the effort to step up safety. Annie.
Brent, today I spoke with an alderman who is pushing for safer streets here in St. Louis. We talked about the trial and also the frustration the Edmondson family shared exclusively with 5 on Your Side.
This city is designed for cars to go fast and no regard for traffic laws or signs, which has been proven by Janae's accident.
Now 18, Janae Edmondson and her family sat down for an exclusive interview with 5 on Your Side after Daniel Riley's guilty verdict. The jury recommending he serve 19 years in prison. The Tennessee teen saying she's glad he was found guilty.
But at the end of the day, he has legs. I don't. So he doesn't have to go through what I have to go through just to get back to even walking.
Janae's accident happened last February, but 2 women were killed last month getting hit by a vehicle while walking near Enterprise Center after the Drake concert.
Her case was the tip of the iceberg that started the chain reaction.
What a courageous young woman to sit up there and just tell us her story and really be a catalyst for change in our city.
Alderman Michael Browning is sponsoring the Complete Streets bill, pushing for updated and more extensive safety practices with road engineering focused on people walking or biking. A similar mission to advocates with TrailNet in the St. Louis area, hoping
to get to the point where neighborhood safety, street safety, sidewalk safety is the most important thing that our city can do to keep people safe.
This isn't the first story like this, and I do hope it will be one of the last, because this is the type of thing that can mobilize our entire city to finally making a policy change that puts people first and makes sure that injuries like hers never happen again.
Alderman Browning says his Complete Streets bill is already in committee for the Public Infrastructure and Utility team. They will meet again on March 25th. Brent?
All right, great follow-up there, Annie. We posted our entire interview with Janae and her family on KSDK.com. You can also find it on our YouTube page and on the 5 Plus app on your Apple, Amazon Fire, or Roku TV. Well, we're springing forward tonight. It means those of you in Florissant will hear those church bells an hour earlier this morning. We've got meteorologist Gary Frank now with your weather first forecast.
Yeah, we're going to have to be bundled up as you get out and about tomorrow morning as the sun rises after 7 o'clock now, at least tomorrow morning, because as we spring forward, it's not going to feel like spring at all. It's a little bit colder outside already, but the wind isn't moving this around quite as much. There's actually a pretty decent wind chill at this hour as we have a 5 to 10 mile an hour breeze, but no more gusts. That's where we had gusts over 30 earlier today. That has settled down considerably. 41 feels like 37 right now as we got into the 50s today. And as those clouds have cleared out, we've lost our insulator. All that rain has finally moved out, and as that's pretty much going to allow any heat to escape. So 30 in the city, mid-20s or even low 20s, depending on where you are outside of the city. And it's definitely the coldest morning that we're going to have for another 7 days and the coldest morning we've had in a while. What that impacts our allergies are going to have, and when we're going to be back in the 70s and feeling a lot more like that spring forward.
Today, loved ones of 2 MoDOT workers killed on the job gathered together to remember them. A driver hit and killed Caitlin Anderson and James Brooks on Telegraph Road back in 2021. Today, dedication ceremony happened for Brooks. There's a new sign along I-70 with his name. His family hopes to even influence state law.
I and the other families don't want any other family to go through what we're going through right now because of the laws. The laws really needs to change. When it comes to highway workers, stricter penalties need to be in place, and we're working on that now with bills at the Capitol.
The family wants to see steeper fines for reckless drivers. A memorial bridge was named in Anderson's honor last fall. Tonight, 2 people are dead after a double shooting near the Grove. It happened just after 1 this morning on South Newstead and Gibson Avenue. Police found a woman inside of a home shot in the head and a man lying on the sidewalk shot in the chest. She died on scene. The man died at the hospital. Police have not identified a suspect. Right now, a man is in the hospital after someone shot him in downtown St. Louis early this morning. It happened around 12:30 on Market Street near the Stiefel Theater. The man was shot in his side. He went to the hospital with serious injuries. If you have any information about either of these shootings, call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Just hours ago, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley came out to show his support for workers on the picket line in Hazelwood. Members of the Teamsters Union have been striking for 2 weeks now. Workers at Gray Bar are calling for higher pay and changes to their health care coverage. Senator Hawley says these workers were excluded from shared profits because they are in a union.
This company that advertises itself as being St. Louis, having St. Louis ties, come do right by these St. Louis workers. They just want to be included and treated the same as everybody else. To deliberately exclude them because they're in a union, they're doing all the same work as everybody else. They're doing terrific work. They deserve to have a fair wage and be included in the profit sharing arrangement.
Hawley's opponent, Lucas Kuntz, visited those workers earlier this month. We reached out to Gray Bar for a comment on that strike. We're waiting to hear back. An annual St. Louis tradition bringing beer and seafood lovers out to Maplewood. Schlafly's Stout and Oyster Festival wrapped up about an hour ago at their Bottle Works location. Organizers flew in more than 50,000 oysters from both coasts for this 2-day event. More than a dozen stouts were made especially for that festival. More trouble in the skies. A week of close calls for United Airlines. What Boeing is now saying about January's door plug blowout. Get ready to spring ahead. The effort to keep you safe ahead of daylight saving time.
It just takes a few minutes, but it can save a life on the other end.
A cooler day today as that rain and cloud cover exited, but this still will have an impact on our weather overnight. How cold it gets and when we'll see our temps back in the 70s after this exits.